As we get ready to tip things off, Taisha Exner for Monmouth, but loses the tip to Brown. Here's Grace Arnoley. Almost a turnover there. Tough defense for Monmouth to start. Aiello in the paint was denied by Cramble, but they call the foul.
Well, that was a nice move from Aiello, just putting the basketball down. Their offense looked a little discombobulated to start, but just trying to make something out of nothing. Back to the basket type player and able to draw the contact.
Smart of Aiello to challenge Cramble. Also rather brave, considering that Cramble is such a shot-blocking threat as the first free throw is missed. Certainly, Coach Wetmore doesn't want Cramble to be in early foul trouble, and the first point is on the board for Aiello. We got the full court pressure to start this one off. Haynes was able to save the ball before. Now Monmouth working into their offense. And here is Rodriguez. Cramble searching. 5-4 on the shot clock. Exner for three. Great way to start the season here at home for Taisha Exner.
Well, I know they all sighed when that three-pointer went in, a game in which they went 0 for 11 from the three-point line, get one to go early.
But Mauricio answers on the other end for Brown. That one was a little too easy, I would say.
Well, she is so good and so quick. You just got to stay on your toes when guarding her, and she likes to shoot it high off the glass for a tough finish.
Farley looking for space. Cramble from three. And she misses everything. Well, actually, maybe Grace a little at the net there, Dom.
Well, Cramble, not really her game, shooting the three. It looked like she had a little bit more space. I would have liked her to take a dribble in, maybe get that mid-range shot up a little bit. Has a pretty looking shot, but not really a three-point shooter as far as her career goes.
Arnoley with a nice dish, but nothing doing in the paint. They kick it back out. Farley with a nice rebound for Monmouth. Rodriguez, the leading scorer for Monmouth in the first game of this season. Cramble posting up with the footwork, a nice dribble, able to put it away. Belle Cramble gets her first points at home in the 24-25 season.
Well, that was a nice move there. She battled up against 6'4", got a little bit of an inch on her. Knows she got to get in her bag and use her post moves.
Mauricio off the mark from three. And Arnoley unable to wrangle the rebound. Monmouth ball.
See Brown continuing to keep this pressure on, whether they're in the press or not. They want to pick up the ball handler full court, and slow down the offense.
Yeah, Arnoley a little bit too aggressive that time on defense as Exner draws the foul.
First team foul on Brown.
Rodriguez using the screen, comes off the dribble, and instead of shooting, decides to try to pass it into Exner.
Well, that was a really tough pass there. I think Exner was coming across the lane and really wasn't set. Tried to catch her before she came all the way through.
Looks like a kickball there. So I remember, Dom, you and I were on the call around this time last year when Brown was visiting Monmouth. Kyla Jones had those career-high 34 points.
Yeah.
She went off and able to help them get that narrow victory. She is now transferred, graduated, and moved on to Northwestern. So one less person for Monmouth to worry about.
Well, for sure, just a terrific scorer. Been watching her for years, and Left-handed, loves to get to the left hand, and a steal here as the push for Mauricio.
Arnoley driving in the paint and gets the bucket to go. Grace Arnoley is on the board for Brown.
Well, Arnoley hoping to have a much better game. Last time out against Indiana, 3 of 14 from the floor. They're going to need her to be a consistent playmaker, consistent scorer this season. As you mentioned, Kyla Jones no longer here. So just a team just figuring out where the offense is going to come from.
Exeter draws the foul. Arnoley is a little shaken up on the play. And Arnoley was an all-Ivy League honorable mention for the second straight time last season. If you recall, last year against Monmouth, she struggled a little bit in this building. Only 2 points, was 1 of 9 from the floor and 0 of 4 from 3. She did have 4 steals, so looking for a bounce back here in this building. She goes to the bench now. Nice cut by Farley. Oh, got everything but the finish.
Nice recognition on the weak side from Farley, just really cutting to the basket. Defense caught sleeping. All eyes was on Cramble, but a nice job from her. I think that's an addition that I talk so much that Cramble has worked on, is really looking for her passing, trying to get her teammates involved. It was a tough break there, didn't finish the shot, but right idea.
Mauricio drives, kicks, pulls it from 3, off the mark. Nice rebound once again by Monmouth. It's Kimari Reynolds in the game now for Monmouth. Exeter makes that one from 3. Taisha Exeter with a couple of threes to start this ball game.
And you know, you're leaving her open because you look at the stats from last year. She was 22% from 3, but letting them fly here today. And her coach said she's only scratched the surface in the type of scorer that she can be.
Haynes coming away with the steal. Yeah, Exeter was 0 of 5 from 3 in the season opener against Yale. Did manage 10 points and 9 rebounds, so still a pretty nice game, but you could tell as she feeds Cramble there on the miss that she wanted to set the tone, I think, from beyond the arc. She has that shot in her repertoire.
Yeah, just adding to her game this year. Says that, you know, they'd really like her to be a go-to scorer this season just because of her versatility. So interesting to see what she's been adding to her game.
Loose ball foul. I think it's going to go against Aiello. We'll be right back after this here at Monmouth.
Number 25, Gianna.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one. Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ Barnabas Health.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
We're back at Monmouth University. Monmouth leading Brown 8-5 midway through the first quarter. Maria Marino along with Dominique Patrick. Both of these teams looking for their first win of the season. And for Monmouth, Coach Kate Wetmore in her inaugural season looking for her first career victory.
And so far, so good for Monmouth. I mean, it's certainly a much better start from 3 than it had last game. Like we said, 0 of 11, just couldn't knock anything down so far. 2 of 3 right now, and already 3 assists. They had 3 assists on the whole game last game, so just the offense looking much more crisp. I know that's something that Coach Whitmore said they worked on.
Well, those 2 threes coming from Taisha Exener, who drives in the paint this time. No good. Brown going the other way. Young will pull from 3. No good. Farley with another rebound. So Brown being definitely aggressive on the defensive end here. They've been bringing the full court pressure, but they've had a couple of ticky-tack foul calls, I would say.
Well, absolutely. When you're picking up the ball, handler full court like that, it's got to be all feet. Can't reach in with your hands and trying to get those quick steals.
Nice look from Exener, couldn't get it to go, and now it's Monmouth with the foul on the floor.
Foul number 2, Taisha Exener.
So of course we asked Coach Wetmore about that trouble shooting from 3, Dom. You talked about how they were 0 of 11, which is definitely a pretty, you know, surprising thing to see on the stat sheet. And she said, you know, we stat our 3s in practice, we shoot it at a good rate. So maybe it just wasn't the offense sort of being in the right spots, some ill-advised shots as Haynes gets the steal. Unable to convert. And Davine Debula into the game, just missed out on that rebound. Good aggressive D, though, by Monmouth on that possession.
Well, you know, Coach Wetmore loves defense, right? I mean, that's what she's teaching to her players. I talked to her a little bit about that in the offseason, saying that, you know, that's got to be our identities, getting stops out there on the floor. And she felt like the defense could have been better against Yale and just trying to play team defense here. So see them already trying to make it difficult.
Exener grabs the rebound off of the 3-point miss by Mauricio. Reynolds gets her own rebound. Can't put it away. So we've gone on a bit of a scoring drought for both sides here. Monmouth is one of their last 8 from the floor. Same thing for Brown.
It has been all defense, right? I mean, I guess that's what you want if you're a coach.
Yeah, definitely a low-scoring first quarter thus far. Another foul on the floor for Brown.
Yeah.
Beth Nelson looking a little surprised.
Been seeing the whistle a little bit more to start this game as well, too. You know, it's always interesting. You know, you're calling games, usually the referees kind of letting them play a little bit to start, but so far just making sure nothing ticky-tacky. That was a little bit of a body up there from Nelson.
Exener in her second year at Monmouth had transferred here last season from Pitt. Definitely was a key contributor. She averaged 7 points, 6 boards a season ago. Makes the first. And interestingly, that was exactly her total against Brown. 7 points, 6 rebounds last year in this game. Exener drains them both. She's got 8 points so far in just 7 minutes for Monmouth. Nice move. Can't get it to go. Exeter with a mid-range jumper is short.
2 minutes in the quarter.
And another new face on the floor for Monmouth, Deshauna Carter. By the way, 6 new players for Monmouth this year, 5 transfers. As you can imagine, you know, once there's a coaching change, there's usually a bit of turnover, and
Of course.
so it's to be expected. Bunch of new faces here for Monmouth.
Yeah, I mean, even without a coaching change, right? We've gotten to the point in college basketball where they're transferring at will. And it's been interesting to see how teams are able to put it all together. You know, you've seen some teams are really successful with it, and some that, you know, they're struggling to figure out, you know, how to make these teams work. And it's definitely a challenge for Coach Wetmore to kind of gel it all together.
Ofunrin kicking the ball out, and that's a turnover for Brown. So Coach Wetmore has talked about how, as far as chemistry is concerned, she feels like the team has gelled pretty well for Monmouth. Like, she's felt that she's recruited great people, not just great players. Got a backcourt violation, so the ball stays with Monmouth here. And so she feels like everybody's been getting along. The thing for her is just figuring out the rotation, right? Who plays well together, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and also dealing with some injuries as well, too. Sandrine Kleska, Rachel Kuhl, who transferred here from St. Peter's, some of your shooters, and then Kleska, another ball handler. So just trying to figure out that rotation without them has got to be tough.
Powell in transition, and she knocks down the mid-range J.
Well, a nice push from Powell, getting into the mid-range there. And we're starting to see Monmouth on offense just trying to do a little bit too much here. Definitely want to run your sets and get a little bit more movement on the perimeter for Monmouth.
Tabula will take it herself. Farley with the rebound. Thought the ball might have gone off of her, but stays with Monmouth.
Substitutions for Brown, number 4.
Nice job by Farley to fight on those boards. She's got 5 already. Carter. And she nails the jumper from deep.
Oh, nice job denying the screen, just really reading the defense there, trying to cheat over the top.
And Carter with the rebound, and she will drive and score. Plus the foul, Deshauna Carter making her presence felt.
Really nice move there. Nice push from Carter. Change of pace here and really challenging the 6'4" Aiello. And a nice move there, just coming down, pushing the pace. Once again, getting a stop on defense and hesitation dribble and explode to finish with the right hand. That's fearless hoops right there.
And gets the 3-point play on top of it. Deshauna Carter with 5 points here in the first quarter. Clock winding down for Brown. Arnoley over to Mauricio. She's gonna have to pull it. Oh, just misses the floater. Exeter with the board. 5 left on the shot clock. Now just 0.6 left in the frame. Exeter a little frustrated. She was trying to rush and get one more attempt before the buzzer sounded.
Yeah, absolutely. Great effort from her. Just needed to tuck a little bit earlier.
Selection, and she was a 2-time captain at Adelphi, where she was a player. All right, so Deshauna Carter is on fire to start this game. She's up to 7 points.
Well, you could just see the confidence from Carter in that mid-range shot.
Turnover there, and Brown takes advantage. Arnoley with the easy layup. And that full court press paying off for them in that instance.
Yeah, 6 turnovers for Monmouth, and Brown able to get 4 points off of turnovers so far in this game, and definitely have to clean it up, especially underneath your basket, giving them something easy.
Davine Debula posting up, but she is denied by Gianna Aiello. Arnoley off on the 3.
0 of 8 from 3 from Brown to start this game. They have been trying desperately to get one to hit, but have not been successful. That pass a little bit deep. Debula had to run it down, but gets the foul call.
Davine averaged about 3 points and 3 rebounds last season off the bench. Only played about 9 minutes.
At the line for Monmouth, number 13, Davine Debula. She will have 2 shots.
Debula makes the first, and she played 9 minutes in the opener as well. Scored 6 points. Misses the second. Looks like we have a clock issue. Making sure the shot clock gets going here, and we'll have a couple of subs into the game. Ella Farley back on the floor for Monmouth.
Substitutions, Monmouth, number 23, Ella Farley. Brown, number 5, Olivia Young. And number 33, Ima O'Goodry.
Nice pass there from Arnoley to Afunrin.
Well, that's a little more offense that they need. Driving the baseline and looking to the opposite side here. And who goes to the opposite side is Rodriguez, but Debula traveled with it.
Yeah, Debula looking a little frustrated because she knows maybe she should have just gone straight up instead of going for the dribble there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Moving a little bit too fast, shifting the feet. But Brown on that last possession looking good offensively. We know they like to shoot the 3 ball as they turn it away, but maybe going inside, getting some more looks and dissecting the Hawks defense can get them going offensively.
Well, another calling card for Coach Kate Wetmore for sure is pace. She wants them to play at a fast pace, and you saw in that last possession, Damaris Rodriguez really just pushed it up the floor. Ended up, unfortunately, in the travel there, but I think that's overall what Coach wants to see for Monmouth.
Yeah, they want to push the pace. You see Brown with this soft press they have on just to slow them down, but you got to know the trap is coming here, and Rodriguez in a tough spot. One of her teammates going to have to flash to the middle and know that was coming, but that was a very sneaky press there from Brown because looked like they were just paying attention to the ball handler, right? But she kind of set herself up, stumbling with the basketball and going to the sideline, and that is a trap's dream.
Right.
Bringing it up the side.
Arnoley into the paint, kicks it back out. Another 3 ball, and this one finally drops for Mackenzie Leahy, and Brown finally has a 3 on the board. Monmouth, though, still leads 18-14. We'll be right back.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Whoever said that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line never said anything about the quality of the ride. With Coach USA, you can charter a luxury motor coach for all of your special occasions. From your wedding day to to corporate events, sightseeing, trips to the casino, sporting events, and concerts. Enjoy free amenities on board, things like Wi-Fi, restrooms, and movies. So to book your charter anywhere in the US or Canada, just contact our sales office today.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
In the second quarter, Monmouth women's basketball leading Brown 18-14. Both teams looking for their first win on the season. And here's a look at the coaching resume of Monique LeBlanc. She's in her 5th season for Brown. Now, prior to that, she was the head coach at Merrimack for 9 seasons, and her best season at Merrimack was actually the first year that they were a D1 school. They went 13-5 in the Northeast Conference, 20-9 overall that year, and then she was hired in early 2020 for Brown. Of course, there was no season that year for the Ivy League, so was actually only coached, 4 active seasons heading into this one. I should say including this one. Another blocking foul here for Brown.
Her first personal, second team foul on Brown.
Rodriguez mishandles the pass there from Exeter. 3 ball is money in transition for Grace Arnoley.
Oh, a nice push of the pace there, getting the turnover. I don't think Rodriguez was expecting that pass at all, and it falls into the hands of Brown, who likes to really push and transition. They set their feet and looking for a quick 3 on the perimeter.
So Brown is on an 8-0 run over the last minute and 19 seconds. They have erased this deficit, and they just forced another turnover there by Monmouth.
Well, this is exactly why they've been able to go on this run. The turnovers being a problem right now for Monmouth. This is their 10th turnover in the game, and so they have to be careful here, but Brown gives them right back.
Right, and the turnovers were really an issue for Monmouth in their first game. Coach Wetmore talked about, particularly in the 4th quarter. I believe there were, what, 10 turnovers?
10 turnovers in the 4th, and it's disappointing too. I mean, to only lose by 3 and, have those turnovers, and you can't get those possessions back, right? You want to make every possession count.
Arnoley upset with herself. She traveled even though she had a good look at the basket.
Well, this press has been bothersome. They have certainly upped their defense in this second quarter here for Brown, just harassing the ball handler and, like I said, just baiting them into that soft trap. So the guards got to be on their P's and Q's and know that it's coming, and the guards are going to have to flash to the basketball, make themselves more available.
Carter feeds Cramble. Cramble kicks it out to Exeter for 3. That one's off. Cramble with a nice tap to keep the ball on Monmouth's side. Rodriguez for 3. It's short. Rodriguez has yet to score for Monmouth, even though she was their leading scorer last game. Ooh, Cramble called for the foul on that play. I think she was going for the block.
Yeah, we know that she's a terrific shot blocker, back-to-back, all CAA defensive player, but gets her on the arm there, just mistimes that leap. But pushing the pace again is Brown after they get the stop on defense. The transition defense for Monmouth got to be better, right? You got to stop the ball handler before they're down in the perimeter. And Also, you got to make contact with the cutters as well when you come in transition. A team that knows how to set their offense quickly.
Ofunrin off on the first free throw attempt.
Well, that's a tough break for Cramble, picking up her second foul, having to come out of the game.
Second one is good, and we are all tied up here at the Ocean First Bank Center.
Ooh.
The bench loves
nice
that
little move
one.
behind the back there. Heard you, Farley.
Yeah, put her defender on the floor. Three ball, and that one is off the mark. And Monmouth can't capitalize on the offensive rebound there.
The offensive rebound has been outstanding, but look at his move here. Man, making her touch grass out there. Farley with a crazy move in the backcourt. And don't reach on her.
Gets called for the foul there, but Farley, how about the 6'3" player with the handles?
Man, she got the skills and the versatility to handle it back there in the court. And
it's like everybody's got to be a ball handler today with how much Brown has been pressing.
Absolutely. I mean, but that's what you can use, that versatility, right? Have her bring it up. It puts a less pressure on your guards. You have so many ball handlers on this team.
Ten on the shot clock. Mauricio, nice take and finish for Isabella Mauricio. She's got 4 points now for Brown.
And now the run continues for Brown to be able to score, but the turnovers have certainly been troublesome, and also having to convert off the offensive rebounding. 7 offensive boards for the Hawks, and they just haven't been able to convert on the second chances.
Exeter is
not sure about that one. Yeah.
She got called for the travel. I thought that it was just honestly like a healthy Euro step, and she's got long legs and long strides. I did not think that was actually steps there.
Definitely thought she took 2, but we're going to take a look at it here. Nice move there. 1-2. Not sure about that one. Maybe shuffling her feet. Late call when she caught the basketball, but not seeing it there on that play, and she's upset after that one.
And Dom, it looked like she also got bumped. I think you could have easily called a blocking foul on that one.
Questionable call for sure, but having to play on. Sometimes you get those in the game.
Well, that being said, Taisha Exeter has certainly had a nice game so far. 8 points in 14 minutes to go along with 4 rebounds. Brown with a 2-point lead here. Arnoley with the cross-court pass. Nelson is good from beyond the arc.
Well, nice movement on the weak side from Brown. The ball handler on the opposite side just cuts down and frees herself up for a 3.
Carter with the answer on the other end. Deshauna Carter came to play today.
Well, that ends the scoring drought for Monmouth. Went 5 minutes without a bucket, and they needed one bad.
Carter's got 10 points, by the way. Perfect from the floor, 4 of 4. Almost a turnover there. Carter saves it and drains another one. Deshauna Carter is fired up right now. She is perfect from the floor, 5 of 5. And she's got 13 points.
Well, what about that? That's certainly some offense that you needed. Back-to-back threes for Carter. Being able to light it up here. She's such a talented guard here with a pretty-looking shot. And they looking to build on it.
Jay Haynes can't get it to go. And that's a travel going against Brown. Ofunrin is a little shaken up.
Substitutions. Round number 4.
Great defense by Kimari Reynolds to stand her ground.
Yeah, kind of ran into a brick wall in that situation there and shuffled the feet. But a much better pace right now for both teams, kind of going up and down with a sense of urgency.
Nice cut there by Carter. She was denied. Like the movement, though.
Well, Carter, so far, a nice addition for the Hawks this season. I mean, she was at Garden City Community College and had 2 30-point games, so she can certainly light it up. A couple years ago.
Exeter called for steps again. Nice pass from Arnoley. Exeter grabs the rebound. Debula. Beautiful feed from Exeter to Debula. And Devine Debula has 3 points now.
Well, I thought that was nice positioning inside, and she's been fighting. Very strong post player down low. Really clears out space, but it's got to be a good pass. And I think a couple times they were missing her, but right there, just pinpoint for her to finish.
Great defense that time by Taisha Exeter, who used her 6-foot frame, had her arms outstretched to deny that 3-point attempt. Ooh, Mauricio gets fouled on the 3. Deshauna Carter, none too happy about it.
Foul number 8, Deshauna Carter, her first personal, 4th team foul.
Well, that absolutely drives the coach crazy when you get fouled on the 3-point shot, but Mauricio has such elevation in her shot that you got to wait for her to land, and it looks like she was trying to box her out before she fully came to the ground, so it's a tough one there for Carter.
Mauricio misses on the 2nd. Drains 2 of 3, so Bella Mauricio has 6 points now for Brown.
Number 22, Mackenzie Leahy, checks in for Brown.
The full court pressure does not stop for this Brown squad.
2 minutes.
And there's the first basket of the day for Damaris Rodriguez, coming off that 14-point performance in the first game against Yale.
Well, terrific read from her with the handoff there. Loves that runner. It's one of her shots and goes to not too deep into the lane. And nice job just handling the press that time for the Hawks.
Ofunren stops, kicks it out. Mauricio off on the 3. Rodriguez looks to feed Exeter. Beautiful pass over the top. Put it right where only Taisha Exeter could get to it.
Pinpoint pass there, just keeping it up high, where all she got to do is worry about finish. Had a mismatch down low, and great recognition again from Rodriguez. Perfect execution on the offensive end 2 times in a row.
Rodriguez upset, called for the foul that time. Just when Monmouth had taken back the lead here. Under a minute to go in the first half. Olivia Young at the line, and as the refs have a little bit of a conference here. I think they're trying to decide who the foul was actually assessed to. So it'll actually be Ofunren at the line instead of Young.
Shooting for Brown is number 33, Ira Ofudrin, with 2 shots.
Let's take another look at what happened on that play. Yeah, it was Ofunrin who was knocked down on the screen.
Yeah, I think Young thought the call was on her
right
as she was coming off of the screen, but call there for just running through it. So Ofunrin.
45 seconds to go in the half. Rodriguez kicks it out to Exeter. 3 is too strong. Debula grabbing the rebound. Exeter again. She kicks it over to Carter this time. Finally, Carter misses a shot from the floor. Gianna Carter still having a terrific afternoon with 12 points.
Well, I think the effort has certainly been there on the offensive end in this quarter. The drive and the kick didn't get the shot that they want, and sometimes, you know, that's just the name of the game, but they have been relentless on the offensive boards, so you got to be happy about that one.
Brown able to hold for the last shot of the half here. Mauricio finds Ofunrin, and Debula is fired up. She definitely put some pressure on and is able to force the travel there.
Yeah, I think the whole bench was fired up after that win. Again, Ofunrin running into a brick wall.
1 second to go. Is close to you. Visit rwjbh.org/Monmouth. RWJ Barnabas Health, proud to be the official healthcare provider of Monmouth Athletics, and we are underway in the third quarter. And a beautiful way to start things off for Brown. Gianna Aiello with the finish after the great feed from Arnoley.
Well, they love that pick and roll offense, right? A little bit of a two-man game there and being able to roll, clear cut to the basket. If you're the defender, definitely have to maintain contact with Aiello the whole time. Just aggressive roll to the basket.
And Belle Cramble answers on the other end. A nice post up, back to the basket. She called for the ball and was able to finish.
Well, was in foul trouble in that first half, and good to see her back there on the floor, and she already gets to work. And here is another foul she picked up on Cramble, so tough blow there to her getting back into the game.
Yep, Cramble shaking her head there. She knows it was a mistake, considering she already had a couple of fouls. To your point, Dom, that kept her out of the action in the first half.
Well, it just looked like she kind of got her with the opposite hand there. We know that she's a terrific shot blocker. So, you know, throughout the season, people are going to challenge her. They're going to try to go at the chest of Cramble, but looks like on her offhand, she probably bodied her up just a little bit, even though she was straight up.
Aiello draining the free throw, and she has a 1-inch height advantage on Cramble, was able to use that on that last possession. Farley on the outside, back to Rodriguez to reset for Monmouth. Rodriguez with the pull-up J, it's off, but the rebound to Brown. Three ball is off the mark for Olivia Young. Able to capitalize, though, for Gianna Aiello. We're once again all tied up.
Well, nice follow there, and just recognition from Aiello that Debula never saw her. She never saw her coming down the floor. She was on the backside. It was a hard pass there, but even when the shot went up, got to put the body on her for the simple box out.
Farley with a nice little jump stop, but no good. Aiello again. Gianna Aiello has come out on a mission here to start this second half, and that is enough for Kate Wetmore to want a timeout for Monmouth. Brown leading by 2. We'll be right back with more.
We take it as an official.
Well, Brown has retaken the lead over Monmouth here in the third quarter. And why? Because Gianna Aiello has come out firing. A few finishes, getting in the paint, making her presence felt. She is up to 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting.
Well, 6 points in the paint off the gate coming out in the third quarter, and she's a big reason why they've been looking for her on the offensive end. And like I said, the Hawks have got to do a better job of just knowing where she is out there on the floor, maintain the body contact with her, because she's been sneaking around the backside, freeing herself up, and her teammates have just been simply finding her. So looking to get more points in the paint. The 6'4" and Gianna Aiello being able to get it done early.
Stats now saying 8 points for Aiello. Now she had 3 personal fouls, so maybe that's why she was a little quiet in the first half. And Taisha Exeter drains the 3 for Monmouth. That's the 3rd triple of the ball game for Exeter. Wow.
Well, she's certainly been working on it, adding that to her game, being able to extend out her shot. And she is looking very confident, pulling it from the 3-point line.
And how about the effort there, diving on the loose ball?
Well, Coach Wetmore said that, you know, she works her butt off and says that, you know, if they want her to be a go-to scorer this season, really wasn't in that role last year, just really trying to come into her own.
Nice footwork by Grace Arnoley, taking on Exeter down low.
Yeah, just put her in a tough spot there under the rim, which wasn't able to block that shot.
Carter, no good on the 3. I was mentioning or thinking too, Dom, with Aiello, maybe she's having a bit more success with Belle Cramble out of the game, because Belle has foul trouble as well.
Absolutely. Definitely going to work down there. Mismatched situation with Exeter, and was certainly exploiting it to come out in the third.
That's the 6th rebound for Exeter to go along with her 13 points. Carter, nice drive. Oh, everything but the finish. Young, wide open from 3, makes Monmouth pay.
Well, looked up a little mix-up on the defensive end there, frees up Olivia Young, and she can certainly shoot it. 35% three-point shooter, but like we said, this team has certainly trying to get their three-point shot going a little bit more, and so far, 2 already in this second half.
Jay Haynes off on the 3. There's Ayala with the rebound. Young from 3 again. This time, no good. Arnoley couldn't save it. Brown has opened up a 4-point lead here in this third quarter, even though Monmouth was leading by 3 at the half.
Number 2, Gianna for the Bears.
What would you like to see more offensively from Monmouth?
Well, Monmouth, I think just a little bit more ball movement. I've seen a lot of, one pass and a shot, so just swing the ball right there, exactly. Just having a wide open shooter in the corner. I mean, she missed that shot, but I thought it was a much quicker decision-making on that play.
And great decision there by Exeter to notice that Ella Farley was open down low.
Yeah, Farley in a nice position there. Even had a mismatch, too, where just too short to contain her, but nice job of her just diving to the basket after missing that three-pointer in the corner.
Number 23, Ella Farley. She will have 1 shot.
Able to make the free throw. Farley now with 3 points. Arnoley short on the 3. Nice rebound by Carter. Trying to feed Farley in transition. Rodriguez with the bailout. Can't get the jumper to go.
Well, look at Farley. She's everywhere. In on the action for every play. Talk about the high motor that she has. She ran down the basketball, threw it back in, trying to get Rodriguez a shot, and then was in on the action for the rebound. The junior from Canada just all over the place.
And overall, a good job by Brown to get back on defense there, prevent that transition bucket. Ayala with the feed to Arnoley. A nice give and go. She can't get the finish, but will get the foul.
And Farley, got caught up on the screen there and got in a chasing situation there and just threw it right over the top.
We're going to take a timeout. Brown leads by 1. Come right back. Brown with the 1-point lead here at Monmouth University. And McClune's family of restaurants features 11 premier locations with 10 across the Jersey Shore. All locations are open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Visit mcclunes.com for more information. Maria Marino along with Dominique Patrick here at the Ocean First Bank Center. Brown 38, Monmouth 37, Grace Arnoley at the line. Hits the first, she's up to 10 points on the afternoon. Makes them both. Arnoley averaging 14 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists last season when she was an All-Ivy honorable mention for the 2nd straight season. Rodriguez breaks free. Ball's going to stay here with Monmouth. Jay Haynes is immediately swarmed by the defense. Exeter with the crossover. Reynolds. Nice shot by Kimari Reynolds.
It was a tough bucket there, just going to the left hand.
But then we get a free ball on the other end from Gia Powell. She's a freshman from Washington. Got her first collegiate points the other night in the loss to Indiana for Brown.
Well, look how quickly Brown been able to get the shot up. They are moving with a sense of urgency on offense. As soon as they push the pace, they're looking to get a quick 3 and catch you sleeping.
Haynes thought about the pull-up J. Exeter from 3. That one's strong. Debula on the glass. Rodriguez looking for her 2nd bucket of the afternoon. Only has 2 points on the day. Powell again from 3. Hits it. Grace Arnoley loves it. An assist for Arnoley and another 3 ball for Gia Powell.
Well, great job by Powell, just feeling as Arnoley was attacking the basket, just comes up behind her, feels, and the defender is lost too far in the paint, but Powell just hit the last one and has a heat check, and she was hot.
Still hot. Checked, still hot. Reynolds into the paint. Tried to feed it to Debula, but just too much traffic down there.
I think the spacing look a little bit discombobulated for Monmouth and the half-court sets they're running here. And, you know, when you're looking for the dribble drive here, you want to make sure the spacing is correct here. And it looks like the post players are kind of bringing their defender a little bit to the guards as they're driving to the basket. So there's definitely just got to be a little bit more communication on offense here to space the floor out. So you have a lot of individual scorers, but you want to have a clear lane to be able to operate. So you just got to talk to each other out there.
Monmouth still finding some chemistry. Aiello again, and 1. Gianna Aiello has just been unstoppable here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, she has certainly exploited Cramble going out of the game, recognizing that she has Exeter on her. Got 4 inches on Exeter and just takes it right to her with a tough finish. And she is fired up, and Brown has pulled away in this game.
Another big hit from the free throw line. Aiello's got 11. Perfect from the floor, by the way. Nice bucket from Farley there. Right place, right time.
And nice recognition from Exeter to just keep it, right? I mean, you break the press, you keep it in the middle of the floor, and just keep going until somebody stops you. And when they did, just passed it over the top.
Nelson driving, can't get it to go. I've been impressed by Exeter for a number of reasons. I mean, she's got 8 boards now, but how about 5 assists for Taisha Exner as Kimari Reynolds also knocks down a 3, keeping Monmouth in it.
Well, they needed that one for sure and left her wide open there. Can certainly hit that. But again, we've been seeing a game of runs, right? These two teams have been going at it.
Oh, nice little reverse there from Arnoley on the dish from Aiello.
A nice job cutting from Arnoley. And Aiello showing she can do a little bit of everything, pass the ball too, and she is having a great second half.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she hasn't missed from the floor just has opened up her teammates. Dangerous pass there. Haynes capitalizes. Jay Haynes in transition, can't get the layup. She's upset, but she did get the foul call there.
And kind of laughing at herself after that win. Haynes so good at catching you slipping on defense. She runs through that pass if it's too weak and gets the steal that she wants, but the run back and contest from Arnoley, I believe that was, and just running it down, made her adjust her shot, kind of short-armed it on that play, but stays with it.
Yeah, we call that a smart foul from Arnoley. Yeah. But, you know, it got me thinking, Dom, tell me if you agree. I think if Monmouth could get more of those transition opportunities, that would go a long way for them. I mean, that's when Brown really started to kind of put things together, when they were able to get those transition opportunities.
Yeah, and definitely capitalizing on the defensive end, getting these turnovers here is something that Monmouth have to work with. I mean, sometimes when you're struggling in those half-court sets, I was saying the spacing just, you know, kind of looked out of rhythm there. You get those stops on defense and you push the pace, get to run before the defense even sets up, so it can give you those opportunities to generate some offense.
Definitely, and we got to keep talking about it. Haynes with the finish that time. Nice pass from Farley to Haynes. But again, the amount of transfers and new faces on the team, it's hard in the half court right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, perfect execution down there, but it don't matter. Powell is hot right now, and if you don't want someone to get a wide open 3, it's definitely her. And she has been on fire with three-pointers in this half.
Meanwhile, a nice finish for Exner. She's got 15 points, but Gia Powell off the bench for Brown with 11 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. The freshman from Edmonds, Washington. Not looking like a freshman today.
Yeah, but during her senior year in high school, 22 points a game, 6 rebounds.
There's another easy one for Aiello. Can't give that up. And you know what, Dom, let me ask you this.
Take advantage of her coming out of the game, and, you know, it's a tough situation, right? You know, as a coach, you don't want her to pick up a quick one and getting out there on the floor, but I think they figured it out offensively, getting some stops on defense, kind of went on a run, and so just trying to save her in case it's a tight game in the fourth.
Well, Taisha Exner has been doing her part. She's got 17 points. What a beautiful move by Taisha Exner, and a great start for Monmouth out of that break between quarters.
Yeah, I mean, so far just really weathering the storm, right? I mean, Brown went on a run, Cramble out of the game, but kind of held their own, made a comeback here, and it's now a 5-point game.
Rodriguez, the smaller defender there, but Olivia Young unable to capitalize. Exner's gonna take it herself, it looks like. Can't get it to go that time.
That's a help ball.
Well, right idea from Exner, trying to get a one-on-one situation. Has a quick first step. I like the matchup there, trying to ISO, but maybe utilize the crossover move that I know she has in her bag. Finish on that left side. So far was nothing she could really get out of that possession.
Powell has been hot from 3. This time she feeds Aiello, who is able to finish it easily. And Gianna is another one who's just been really hard to stop for Brown. She's up to 15.
And here comes Cramble coming back into the game, because the pick and roll offense there, Exenor having to show up on Powell, who's a great shooter, but the recovery on the pick and roll has been late.
Now Arnoley drains a 3. So we got a quick timeout here for Monmouth. Brown still holding on to the lead, and we'll see how Monmouth responds after this.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one. Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ Barnabas Health.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
We're back at Monmouth University. Excitement is in the air, and we want you here cheering on the Hawks. Don't miss your chance. Head over to monmouthhawks.com/tickets to secure your seats and be a part of the action. Well, Dominique Patrick here with myself, Maria Marino. What kind of fight does Monmouth have left in them? Because they are now trailing by 8. And offense hasn't been the easiest for them to come by.
Well, they had a really strong start, right? And I mean, that happened again against Yale, but it's all about finishing with this team here. And somehow you got to dig deep and get some defensive stops. I mean, Brown is shooting 68% from the field this half.
Exeter off on that one, but Taisha Exeter has been really keeping Monmouth afloat here today, but Arnoley gets another 3-pointer to go.
I mean, this just been that type of half for them, just really feeling it. I mean, that was her calling her own number and just looking around and saying, you know what, I'm gonna put this shot up quick.
And there is Belle Cramble with the basket back in the game. She missed most of the third quarter because of foul trouble.
Yeah, well, Cramble's got to be smart here. You got 2 fouls to play with, but a whole lot of basketball left to play. But you know this team's going to try to take it to her.
Wide open look from 3, and it goes for Mackenzie Leahy.
Well, right now, the Hawks in a position where they're deciding what to give up, right? I mean, you saw Aiello being able to go into the paint, generate points in the paint. Now you're worried about so much of the commotion inside. You're missing by getting out on the 3-point shooters. And Brown just been able to hit from all over.
Yeah, and you talked about this before, Dom, the ball movement. I think Monmouth just needs to do themselves some more favors by moving the ball around and not settling for that first look that they see.
Well, we talked to Coach Wetmore about that, right? I mean, these are players who are used to playing different roles from the schools that they transferred from, and, you know, bringing some experience, but having to mesh it all together, right? Like Rodriguez is used to having the ball in her hands all the time at the D3 level. So now, you know, getting some more movement off of the ball, looking to swing the ball quickly, because now you have teammates who can generate some offense for you. So it's just a learning lesson for them. But right now, Brown, they are hot.
Arnoley is feeling it. She's got 21 points for Brown. Wow. It's now a 69-55 lead. Brown over Monmouth. Let's take another look at that one, because this is how you know a player is feeling it, right? Uses her weight, little step back.
Very nice move there, and looking for, again, the pick and roll offense that Brown likes to run. But, you know, if you're on the guard and makes a decision and you're trying to cheat it. So Farley there trying to cheat the screen, went a little bit too far, and then put her in an awkward position on Arnoley and being able to get the step back there, and it was silky smooth.
I think it's important to note, too, that Arnoley struggled in this matchup a year ago, only had 2 points in this building, 1 of 9 from the floor, didn't make a 3. And, well, I don't know if you want to call this a revenge game, but she's got 21.
She had redemption on her mind coming into this gym. And, you know, as a player, you remember every court you play good on, you play bad on. So maybe had that in the back of her mind.
Exner there draws the contact. You know, she had an open look from 3, decided to put it on the deck. I like her being aggressive.
Well, I really like that move. I mean, she's a great ball handler, too. Crossover move there, a little hesitation dribble, but getting to the free throw line, hopefully seeing the ball go down can kind of wake up this offense right now. They haven't been able to get anything going.
And Dom, you had asked Coach Wetmore about Ty Exner, talked about how she's such an athlete, a versatile scorer, but just how she wants her to be a go-to on offense, but she wasn't exactly that last year. You know, she wasn't necessarily the primary scorer last year for Monmouth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just playing a different role sometimes is when you're not that type of player for a whole season, it's hard to just turn it on, right? I mean, you could tell that she's been working on her isolation moves. She's been working on versatility, being in score in multiple ways, but the long arms, the long legs of Exenor, and this is how she makes an impact defensively as well. So definitely a bright future for her. Coach Wetmore has said, you know, I don't even think she scratched the surface in the talent level that she can be.
For sure. I mean, I think versatile is the word. We just see her doing everything. She's basically on a triple-double watch as we speak. So here she goes again into the paint. Couldn't quite get the handle there. Arnoley with a step-back 3 off that time.
And I think if you're Brown, that's not necessarily the shot that you need right now. You want to run some clock, get something good. I mean, even try to get it in the paint a little bit more. And ISO 3, not exactly what they need.
Deshauna Carter with the crafty finish. I've been so impressed with her this afternoon. She's got 14 points. What a punch off the bench from Monmouth.
Well, she's so quick, right? And just being able to be a slasher, get to the basket, a tough finisher as well, too. It really came here to play this afternoon.
Her first personal, second team foul on Monmouth.
Carter, one of the 5 transfers on this roster from Monmouth. Everybody trying to figure out production-wise what they can expect, the coaching staff as well, as Mackenzie Leahy gets that basket to go for Brown. Monmouth really has to get something going here. Rodriguez driving in, kicks it out. Haynes couldn't get the 3 to fall. Mauricio turns it over.
Now Mama's got to go, got to play with some urgency here on the offensive end.
There goes Haynes from 3. That one's short.
Mama's got to go. Yep. Exeter looking to pass it up quickly. Gets hits with a foul there. A little bit of a frustrating game.
Meanwhile, Exeter at 8 rebounds now.
Yeah, last game got a near double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds, and pretty close to it again. I mean, she's the type of player that can really give you a double-double any given night.
Yeah, definitely so athletic. She's getting a breather now. Monmouth going with a little bit of a smaller lineup here. Rodriguez gets fouled.
Number 2, Gia Powell, her second personal.
Wincing as she gets up. Now, I'm wondering, Dom, who's going to be sort of the playmaker here for Monmouth with Exeter off the floor. Oh, Carter with a turnover, just slipped. Arnoley from 3, off the mark. Aiello grabs the rebound. Another opportunity for Brown. Farley fighting on the glass as she has been all afternoon.
Well, now guard's got to feel, right? Haynes staying at the top of the key there. Farley gets in a position where she's on the sideline. There's got to be a player coming to help her out. And I think that's right now what's been missing with Monmouth, just the ball movement. We've seen it in spurts throughout this game, but just a learning lesson very early in the season. And just, you know, watching film and learning, you know, how to fill into that space to get something going offensively.
For sure. Just have lacked a little bit of flow at times. I thought some of the best plays that Monmouth has gotten this afternoon have been those like over the top feeding the post, getting the ball up high for Cramble or Exeter to just have easier finishes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, the guards and the bigs still kind of getting used to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the guard playing Rodriguez, you have Carter, you have Reynolds, you have so many players who can get into the paint, right? I mean, they can get into the paint and spread the scoring out, but just really having to, you know each other's games, know what to look for, know what pass to look for once you get in the middle of the defense. So just, like I said, a learning lesson, kinks that they're having to work out throughout the season.
Have to give credit as well to Brown, who I really feel has done a great job on the defensive end. They really haven't allowed Monmouth to get anything easy. Everything's been pretty contested.
Yeah, they've been disciplined. And like we said, we know that the Hawks are at their best when they can get out and run. They can push the pace, but Brown has not been letting that happen. They've been turning on that soft press, right? I mean, not as much pressure on the ball handler, but they keep that body there to kind of bait you to go down the sideline, and then they send the trap, and then you have to make a decision after that. So just really been disciplined on the defensive end for Brown, and it has really showed up for them through and through throughout the game.
Another thing we talked about with Coach Wetmore coming into this game was how she felt like after some of the scrimmages for Monmouth, when the season was kind of getting underway, that she felt they needed to have more toughness and grit. They started tracking that more in practice with what she called like toughness stats, as Exeter's off on the 3, manages to wrangle the rebound but can't get the putback attempt. But just really emphasizing that toughness factor for Monmouth. And looks like Kimari Reynolds is a little shaken up.
Her first personal 13th foul on Monmouth.
Looks like maybe that left leg landed a bit awkwardly on that play, on the rebound.
Crowd here at Ocean First Bank Center has gone silent. Reynolds being helped off the floor. That's not what you want to see, given that this Monmouth team, well, of course, you feel for the player first and foremost, but, you know, they've had some injuries already to start this season, so it just makes it challenging.
Yeah, well, hopefully she's okay. Looks like she maybe landed directly on her knee, but, you know, hopping off the floor is, you know, not what you want to see early on. But, I mean, you're right. This is a team that has been plagued by injuries so early in the season, so a really tough blow for them.
Meanwhile, Monmouth is now pressing, trying to make this last-ditch effort to come back in this ball game. And forcing the turnover, so a good defensive possession there by Monmouth, and just really bringing that energy.
Yeah, flying all over the place, making it difficult. I thought Brown did a great job passing around the perimeter out of the trap, but just kind of got caught up in the situation, and the pass wasn't there to kick it out.
Exner with a little jump shot in the mid-range, and it falls. Taisha Exner is up to 21 points. Is there anything she can't do?
Yeah, she is a three-level scorer for sure. Hits the mid-range, the defender backs up off of her, and that's just the part of her game that's going to be so lethal this season. Really having a great one here.
If nothing else, I think this is a really great confidence builder for her, given that, you know, as Coach Wetmore explained, like, she's kind of being asked to do a new role, a more primary role in this offense. So I think this is a good step for her development.
By Gianna.
Meanwhile, Aiello for Brown, she's just had a monster second half. Farley couldn't track down the rebound, and Mauricio has a wide open layup. Brown has opened up a pretty big lead here on Monmouth, 75-61, just over 2 minutes left to play. Rodriguez, stop and pop, no good. Nice rebound that time by Rebecca Milone. Haven't seen her much in this game. She's the lone freshman on the roster from Monmouth. Carter with a double dribble, or a carry, if you will.
Yeah, but now they're having to get right back on defense here, get this press. This last minute 50 we have left, and the offense just kind of deflated a little bit in the fourth quarter. And I think, again, against Yale, you know, the last loss that they had, that fourth quarter was really a struggle for them to put it all together. So this team, 2 games in, you know, just learning how to finish out a game is going to be the lesson learned for this start to the season. Just playing 40 minutes. I mean, that's what the game's all about.
Right, and also figuring out who on the roster is going to be a closer. You know, we haven't talked too much about what this team has lost, but I mean, think about it. Their leading scorer last season, Casey Donovan, transferred out. Ariana Vanderhoop, Jania Hall, who was the 6th player of the year in the CAA, who was often a closer for them. So just kind of identifying who's doing what when the team needs it.
Yeah, and I mean, that takes time, right? It's not an instant success story. I mean, just getting in the gym, watching a whole lot of film would definitely be your best friend, and realizing what opportunities you can have on the offensive end, the things you need to clean up defensively as well, too. I thought that Brown did a great job of reading the defense, exploiting what they have here. But in the pick and roll offense, I think the defense for the Hawks could be a little bit more crisp, you know, that toughness, that grit that we talked to Coach about, right? Just maintaining contact with the players on offense, not losing them, turning your back. Head on a swivel is the old school term, but just a lot of different things they want to clean up going forward.
Gianna Aiello, what a game for her. What a difference maker for Brown. Really coming alive in the second half. May have been plagued a little bit by foul trouble in the first half, but man, came out in the third quarter, really changed the tone of this game completely for Brown. Haynes from 3. Off the mark, Farley with the rebound. Can't get the putback to go. Loose ball foul going against Monmouth. We've got a minute left to play. Brown with the comfortable 77-61 lead on Monmouth. Looking like Brown is going to get their first victory of the season. Monmouth still searching for that first win in the young season and the first under head coach Kate Wetmore.
Well, I think the offense for Brown has been looking good. I mean, that loss to Indiana, you know, still put up 60 points on a Big Ten powerhouse. And I thought that they were in the game. They just had a slow start. I mean, they were outscored 18-7 in that first quarter. But, you know, they're a really talented team offensively, especially when they're hitting shots. And, man, they have showed up today looking for some redemption. And
right.
They've done that.
I mean, Brown, they had a good season last year, 16-11 overall, 7-7 in the Ivy. I could see them definitely being a contender in the Ivy League. Especially with some of the talent that left, you know, Princeton, Columbia. About 33 seconds left in the ball game. About a 10 plus second difference between shot clock and game clock. Arnoley with the, oh, never mind. Aiello with the exclamation point on this game. Exeter, one more attempt from 3. It is off. And Brown gets